all are here. Thank you for checking in. Welcome to the love stream from Rhythmia. Welcome. My name is John Jacob Mubarak, and I am the Director of New Business Development here at Rhythmia, and I'm also a spiritual practitioner, an agape licensed spiritual practitioner. And I get to do this talk today called Walking the Path. And today our topic is, where is consciousness? Where does it reside? Right? It came up from an interesting question. So as people are streaming in, I want to welcome you. I want to thank you. I want to talk to you about what's up and what's going on. Before we go too far, thank you everybody for checking in. Before we go too far, I want to tell you about Rhythmia right now as we're building up some traffic. The background noise is super loud and I can't hear you. Thank you, Ashcroft. Can we turn off the AC? Thank you. All right, so let's hope that this is a little better. Maybe I'm going to try and do this because I think that the computer's making a lot of noise too. Is that better, Phil? Is that better? Thank you for letting us know. All right, so welcome. I'm so grateful that you all are here and joining us. And I want to tell you about Rhythmia and what's going on at Rhythmia right now. We are open. We're open for business. We're open, free from any concerns, right, of all the old past of what happened pre-COVID, right? You can come here and enjoy a pre-COVID experience. We test people before they get on property. So before you even check in, you get a COVID test. And not only that, when you need your test to get back into the United States or any other country, we do the test here. We do the test right here, so you don't have to go anywhere. We got it easy for you. We have people here transforming their lives, releasing years of trauma, pain, guilt, shame, unforgiveness. If you are up for up-leveling your life, come check us out at Rhythmia. All right, so I'm hoping that you guys can hear me okay on the Instagram live. Let me know if you can hear me okay on Instagram. And I'm hoping that everyone can hear me okay on Facebook. Hello, Sheila. Hello, Ethan from London. Hello. So you're London's 8, 6, 7 hours ahead of us, right? So good evening to London. And hello, Margarita Flores. So nice to have you here. So listen, today's talk is consciousness. Where is it? And be sure on Instagram, let me know that you can hear me. If you can hear me, let me know if there's any difficulty. I'm glad you can hear me on Facebook. So thank you all. So where is consciousness? So like, if you cut off your finger, you're still conscious, right? If you cut off your arm, you're still conscious. But if you cut off your head, are you conscious? Does that mean that consciousness resides in the head? This is the question, right? Does consciousness reside? Where does consciousness reside? This is a very interesting question because the key is John O'Brien from Scotland, laddie. It's not lad, it's laddie. Thank you, John. Welcome. So here's the thing about consciousness. Consciousness is that which is eternal, that which is without beginning and without end. If you closed your eyes right now, close your eyes, take a minute, close your eyes with me, and begin to empty yourself of any thoughts of who you are, your job, your sibling, are you a sibling, are you a brother, a sister, a mother, a father, a son, a daughter, a niece, a nephew, a colleague at work, all those ideas of who you are, a football player, a tennis player, a dancer, an athlete, a singer, a driver, a gardener, your career, remove all of that. Remove out all of the ideas of who you are, all of the ideas now of your beliefs, what you think is true, political beliefs, religious beliefs. Just empty. Anything that comes up, you're emptying, letting it go, just setting it aside. Just keep emptying. And soon you get a sense of this blackness that you're looking into, this void. Now, who's observing that void? What is that? that's removing the things, the ideas, the concepts of who you are? What is that? Can you travel? Can it travel? Can you go zoom really far out, really far out? Where are you now? Go to the farthest reaches of the universe. Where is it? Is it still there? Is that thing still there? This is the idea of that which is eternal, that which is unchanging, that which is beyond the Alpha and the Omega, that which has no birth and no death, no before consciousness. So let's just take a deep breath. And as we exhale, allow your eyes to flutter open. That was just a little bit of a little example of what it is that we're talking about, this sense of consciousness. And consciousness does not reside in the brain, right? It does not end when, and that's what we think of it, right? Like it needs to be measured, right? We need to be able to put electrodes to our head and measure what consciousness is. So when the brain stops functioning, where does consciousness go? There's all sorts of stories of people who have been dead, physically dead. There's no brain function. And yet they have full conscious experiences of a near-death experience. Anita Moorjani is one of the people that came to Rhythmia, and is certified to be one of the longest people that were dead that are now living, right? So we have evidence of lots of conscious experience beyond the functioning of the brain. So the next piece of that is, then where is consciousness? Well, there's a metaphysical principle that we live and move and have our beingness in consciousness. And we live and move and have our beingness in a energetic creative medium that responds to our thinking, right? So consciousness is in us, like we're conscious. Consciousness is awareness, but consciousness is also all around us. So we can say that there's a certain sort of consciousness in the plant. Now, remember, we're using the word consciousness to describe a human quality. So we're not anthropomorphizing the plant, but we can see a sort of intelligence, a sort of knowing. The plant knows what to do. It automatically turns towards the sun. It automatically needs water. It automatically grows in this way in the spring, and in the winter it dies off, and it comes back in the spring, and in between there's all sorts of things that it does automatically. There's a certain consciousness there. There's a certain consciousness in the mitochondria of my cells. There's a certain consciousness in the farthest reaches of the universe, in the order and balance and harmony of the planet spinning without any human compulsion. There's a sort of awareness, an intelligence that we can see everywhere. So consciousness then becomes more, it becomes not only in us, through us, and as us, but it's all around us. We're in it. It's like a fish saying to a young fish saying to older fish, I want the ocean. And the fish is like, yeah, you're in water right now, boo. Like you're already in it. You can't get out of it. You want some water? You're in it. You're in consciousness. So consciousness becomes something more than where it resides in the brain, right? So therefore, we are a continuum of consciousness. And in this same way, the question I also asked in the beginning on the reel yesterday was, where's the soul? Is the soul in the body and somehow it leaves the body? I would assert rather that the body is in the soul and that the mind is in consciousness. The consciousness isn't in the mind and the soul isn't in the body, but the body is in the soul and the mind is in consciousness. Whew, get that, catch that. So before I go on any further, I want to give some shout outs, and I want to say hi to everybody joining on Instagram. It's my first time trying to do a little Instagram simulcast. So let me know if you can hear me okay on Instagram. And Facebook, love you, my Facebook family. Thank you for joining us. So So I want to give a shout out to Andrea, who has a question. Let's see your question, Andrea, about, give me 1 second. All right. So where's Andrea's question? I'm not seeing, here we go. Do you have any suggestions to manage anxiety when meditating? Okay. Yes, we can talk about this anxiety, Andrea. I want to get to that. But first I want to finish this talk. And so, hey, Dante, Colette from Ireland. Hello. Andrea, hello. Good to see you. Mia, so grateful. Tessa from Texas, coming in 2022. Get here sooner, Tessa, but we'll take you whenever. Candace, hello, my love. Jessica, thank you. Patrick from PA. Shelly, ooh, I love you all. Petra, thank you so much for joining us. I'm just looking down here. Eshen, Shelly, hello. Margarita, thank you all so much. Anaba, thank you so much. Okay, so now the question. So if the body is in the soul and the mind is in consciousness, then it is the truth of the metaphysical principle that everything emerges from consciousness. Thought precedes form. We have ears to hear because we have the faculty of hearing. So the faculty of hearing existed before the ears. The faculty of seeing existed before we had eyes. We must have the thought in order for it to be manifest. Guess what? That's biblical, baby. Hey, Dorota. Hey, Maria. Hey, Petra. That's biblical. Think about this. Genesis, in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh. That's outlining exactly what we're talking about. Man, I'm telling you, if you read the Bible, for me, reading the Bible from the old school Christian perspective doesn't give me much. When I personally read the Bible from a metaphysical perspective, wow, it's rich. And you can see in Genesis, we're talking about the process of manifestation. In the beginning was the Word. What's a word? A word is a vibration. We speak it, and it becomes a frequency, a vibration. Okay, sound's gone wrong. All right, so something's wrong with the sound. So yeah, you guys, I'm so sorry about that. I'll get that handled with the Instagram. So in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word became flesh. In the beginning there was an idea. In the beginning there was a thought, and the thought was expressed in vibration, and that vibration became flesh. This is guess what that is? That's E equals MC squared. That is energy becomes matter in time and space. Energy becomes matter in time and space. So in the beginning there was a thought, and what is a thought but a mental unit of energy? An energy, thank you, Reverend Michael, by the way. That's a Reverend Michael. I learned that from Reverend Michael. In the beginning there was a thought. The thought is yes, before the Word was a thought. Beginning there was a thought. The thought became the Word. The Word was a vibration. It was spoken, and it was spoken at a frequency, and then that frequency lowered its vibration. Energy becomes matter. At that point of E equals MC squared, where energy becomes matter, it becomes manifest as flesh. Consciousness precedes form. So the body is not, the consciousness is not in the body or in the mind. Consciousness precedes form. The body is a condensate of the thought form of you in the mind of God. In the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word became flesh. The Word became manifest. So consciousness then precedes form, and the form is an extension of consciousness. So consciousness isn't in the mind. Consciousness is in us and around us and through us, and we are an energetic spectrum or continuum of that consciousness. The soul is that same thing. The soul, the body is in the soul. If you can imagine you sitting right where you are right now, and feel the largesse, the grandness of this energetic expression of who you are, almost like a giant shaft of light just emerging out of the top of your head, and like one of those searchlights for the movies, you know, when there's a movie premiere, those lights that just seem to go forever into the sky. That's you. That's you, boo. That's who you are. That's who I am. And this extension is the energetic continuum of who you are. And it takes form and it becomes a lower vibration and a lower vibration until it's you. That's why it feels so good to drink ayahuasca. It feels so good to meditate. It feels so good to pray. It feels so good to dance. It feels so good to sing. It feels so good to express ourselves because we're lifting our vibration. And that's who we are. We're high vibration frequency beings. So the question is where is consciousness? It is not in the mind. The mind is an extension of consciousness. It certainly is part of consciousness. The soul is not in the body. It's not, was there a movie like 13 grams or something like that? There was a movie a while ago that said, you know, that's the weight of the difference after you die. So the soul must be 3 grams or something like that. I can't remember, 2 grams. But yeah, guess what? The soul, maybe the body leaves the soul doesn't leave the body. How about that? How about that? I like that idea. So here we are in this notion of consciousness preceding form, the process of manifestation, and where consciousness and the soul reside. Therefore, consciousness is everywhere. We need not look for it in our minds. We must open ourselves up and be available for this consciousness to express in, through, and as us. It's a constant stream. We're constantly connected, but we close it off. We limit the possibilities because we think consciousness has to exist in a certain way, and our interaction with it has a specific way, right? It needs to look like this. So this is the key. This is the key. Let's see, what does Sylvia say? Peace and blessings, brother. You have such a beautiful soul. Love your live show. Pura Vida. Thank you, Sylvia. Love you too. All right. So the point here is that if this is the truth, if consciousness precedes form, and if you look in life, we don't have to, this isn't woo-woo. Did a cell phone exist first, or did the thought of a cell phone exist? Somebody had to think this shit up, right? Somebody had to imagine it, and before it was real, before it was manifest, it was a thought, right? We don't have to look very far. We have empirical evidence. We have empirical evidence. Hey, Colonic Sally, what's up, babe? So here's what I know to be true then. Consciousness precedes form. So something is manifested out of our thoughts, out of our thinking. That is law. That's not woo-woo. That's not, you know, hippy-dippy patchouli oil. Nah. Somebody had to think of it before it could be it. You got to think it before you can be it. Being precedes doing. It's not you do it, then you can be it. Nah, being that precedes doing. So in this same way, now take this awareness and apply it to your life. How does that apply to our lives? Well, it means that anything that we want, every true and good desire of our heart, true and good desire of our heart is the true and good desire of the divine. And it is the Father's good pleasure, the Mother, Father, God's good pleasure to give us the keys to the kingdom. Everything that we could want or desire is available to us if you only knew. If we only knew how much is in store for us. That is the consciousness that breeds more. That is the consciousness of abundance that welcomes more of it in. You're already connected to it. You're already part of it. You just have to open up more to the realization of this truth, that there is an extension of consciousness culminating in the expression of who you are, and that you are an open channel for more of that good to express in, through, and as you. We just need to open up. We just need to keep ourselves lifted above confusion. What happens when we start to get in our density and we start to think that this is it, right? That consciousness must be inside here, then we're this succinct and separate thing. And then things get real heavy, right? But when I can open up to the possibility that this is an extension of consciousness, a condensation of consciousness, then this form is connected to that consciousness always, and therefore I have access to the infinite. You have access to the infinite. already. We just have to remind ourselves of it. So the only thing that can block the flow of the universal goodness and all the prosperity, and all the health, all the vitality, all the excellence, all the creativity, all the joy, all the beauty, all the abundance, all the love, all the order, all the harmony, all the peace, everything that wants to express through you, the only thing that can block it is limited thought. And it's not blocking it from expressing everywhere. It's just blocking it from expressing through us. So that's why we say it's so important to keep yourself lifted in high consciousness, to remind ourselves of this truth that the soul isn't in the body's in the soul. Who we are is so huge, so big, that our problems we're not facing our problems. Our problems are facing us. They're facing the hugeness of who we are, an extension of consciousness of God, the consciousness of the divine. Woo! I'm feeling it today. So then in this way, we can begin to dissolve our problems, quote, problems and challenges and obstacles, not by chipping away at them, but by opening up, by becoming aware of our connection to consciousness itself, to the consciousness which produces all consciousness, which produces all form, that from which all form emerges. You're connected to it already. And therefore, if I am part of that and you are part of that, then we can command the seas, right? If we really believed it, we could raise the dead, move the mountains, and calm the seas. Jesus said, even these, and greater things than these shall you do. Greater things than these. He's showing us the way, right? I am the way, in my mind, doesn't mean you got to do it this way. It means like, hey, there's some stuff available for you. You want to make many? You want to take 3 fish and 5, or 3 loaves and 5 fish, 2 loaves and 5 fish, and make it to feed 1,000? Cool, you can do it. You can multiply things. You are powerful. If only we believe, if only we had the faith of a mustard seed, if only we believed. And guess what? We don't have to just believe on faith. We now have this wonderful scientific theoretical perspective called quantum physics, which is opening up all sorts of understandings that the metaphysicians and the sages have been saying for centuries, right? So the first key to all of it is realizing that consciousness is, that we are an extension of the conscious mind of the divine, of the universal mind, that we're always connected to it, and that all we have to do is continue to open up, release, open up wider to receive more of that flow. How do we do that? Prayer, meditation, coming to Rhythmia, seeing a spiritual practitioner, fellowship, being part of a spiritual community, being of service, volunteering, making the world a better place, your community a better place just by being you, helping out an elderly person or a loved one, studying, going to classes, taking metaphysical classes, doing yoga, moving our bodies, eating healthy. All of these things are the things that we can do to help keep us lifted above the confusion. What do I mean by that? The confusion that says that this is real, that my fears, my doubts, my worries, all of my heaviness, all of my sadness is real. Now, I'm not saying that it's, when Jesus says don't get caught up in appearances, he's not saying that appearances aren't real. What he's saying is that their unreality lies in our interpretation of them. So here's how we're going to interpret them. I'm experiencing this. I'm experiencing some sense of lack right now. I'm having trouble paying my bills. I'm experiencing something in my health right now. I mean, I'm having some issues physically, right? I'm not denying any of that. What we're saying is that we open up to the possibility of, we open up to the truth, rather, that we're connected with all the love, all the abundance, everything that could possibly be thought is in the mind of God. We have access to it all. And then we start to help train our minds on the truth. If it is anything that we're dealing with, you say to yourself, right now, in this moment, I'm okay. Right now, I'm okay. I might not be able to pay my rent in 2 weeks, but right now, I got a place to stay. Right now, I have enough food. Right now, I have enough time. Even if I'm sick, right now, I have enough time and energy to watch this live stream. So right now, I'm okay. There's something that's okay, that my needs are met right now. Right now. right now, just this moment. And then we build it to the next moment. And the next moment, we begin to build this sort of ladder, this sort of foundation, rather, a foundation of all my needs are met right now. Right now, my needs are met because all we got is now. Here's the thing. When you get to the future, it's going to be now. So you might as well, it's only now, right? So right now I'm okay. Right now my needs are met. Right now I have enough to watch this video. Right now my needs are met. I'm okay right now. And then the next moment. And then we're building a vibratory frequency of I'm okay. I have enough. I have enough. And guess what? In the beginning, there was the word, and the word became flesh. In the beginning, there was a thought, and the thought took form. In the beginning, there was a vibration, and that vibration expressed into something physical that manifested itself. So we're going to build on I'm okay. All my needs are met right now. And we're going to build on that and watch as the universal principle of organization begins to organize things in a way that you could not imagine, and better than you could have imagined, in a way that if you said, well, my prosperity and abundance look like me paying my rent right now, that's the only way you can receive prosperity and abundance. But what are the qualities of what you're looking for? You're looking for divine right housing. Well, what if somebody said to you, you know what? I'm going to be out of town for the next 6 months and I need somebody to watch my house. Would you and your children like to come stay in my house for free and watch it for 6 months? Would that be okay? You didn't have to pay rent for 6 months, right? Like, so we don't want to limit it. We don't want to limit it. We want to be focused on the qualities of it. What is it that I'm looking for? What are the qualities, right? If it's health, if I'm suffering from physical illness right now, and my quality then would be health and vitality. So it might not be that I'm healed from the disease that I'm suffering from right now, or the malady or the illness, but what if I had health and vitality, right? What if the disease or illness is manageable, right? So it doesn't have to look like a cure, but the quality of health and vitality wouldn't matter if you had the disease. If I have health and vitality, I'm cool, right? So we want to take that, turn it into a quality, and then focus on that quality that right now I have that. Right now I have that. I'm okay. My needs are met right now, right now, right now. My needs are met. And then you're building that vibratory frequency, that consciousness of I have enough. And that is what becomes flesh. That is what manifests. Originally the thought, consciousness precedes form. Watch it happen. Watch it and direct message me when it does. I want to hear some great stories of manifestation. I'll tell you a crazy story of manifestation. I love bird watching, and I forgot my binoculars. And there are tons of birds in Costa Rica. So I forgot my binoculars, and I had some friends coming to visit, and I was like, damn, I wish I had my binoculars because my friends love to bird watch too. Wish I had a set of binoculars. So that was a couple days before. Then I go out for a run, and I go out for this run, and I'm jogging in this area on the beach here in Costa Rica, which is beautiful. And there's some trees and stuff, and there's a bunch of, first I see a plastic laundry basket on the beach. It's like, geez, that washed up. Okay, so I set it aside, and I think when I come back, on my way back, I'll pick up the basket. And then a little further up, I see a bunch of bottles in the, you know how the driftwood like washes up, and inside all this driftwood are bottles and stuff and plastic. And so I've stopped my run, and I get the laundry basket, and I start picking up the plastic bottles, right? Picking them up. And I get through the whole thicket of washed up driftwood. And then way off in the distance is one more bottle, like underneath a piece of wood. And I'm like, ugh. And it's kind of, I got to wade through all this, and I've already stopped my run, and I've already stopped my cardio. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I've gone this far. So I wade out to the last bottle, and I get it, and I pick up the bottle, and guess what's underneath that bottle? A set of binoculars. Swear to God. Metal, Bushnell, 20 times 20 magnification binoculars, right? I'm telling you, this shit works. It does. So thank you so much for joining us. That's our talk today. Consciousness, Where does consciousness reside? Everywhere, all around us. As Reverend Michael likes to say, its center is everywhere and its circumference is nowhere. It resides right where you are and everywhere around you, but you are, it's not in, it is in you, but it's also in, through, and as you and all around you. So the soul, the body's in the soul, the mind is in consciousness. We are a condensate of that original thought, that original idea. And so we also have the power to use our thoughts to manifest things. It's already done. It's already done. It's already done. So I'm just so grateful to take this moment and know this truth about you and about me and about everyone, that we are constantly guided by this infinite intelligence, connected to the divine mind, that we are surrounded by a love that protects us, an infinite love that protects us and guards us and girds us, and that we are sourced by an infinite intelligence and sourced by an infinite power, a power that knows no limits, no bounds, no exhaustion, a power that takes out of itself and creates more of itself without ever depleting itself. So this is what I know. Peace and blessings, much love, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. Thank you. How'd it go today? Dude, I thought it went great. I was really happy. Oh, we got a desk in here. Yeah. I can come work. Yeah, third little workstation here. All right, I might pop in. Yeah. I'm working in the office, the front desk office, and it's okay. But yeah, come in here. I want to try to get the big iMac in here. Is that's ours? When I asked Sam, he's like it's split between Rhythmia and them. Yeah, no. I thought it was ours though. I've been asking him for. Yeah, that was their price of admission. So we'll. Yes, because he's done with the documentary. Yeah, it's not his. Okay, it's ours, and they basically part of the cost of them completing the film was contributing $2,500 to that. But the ownership, and it's even in their contract, the ownership resides with Rhythmia. Oh.